See the application of Gauss law. In our previous class, we saw about what is Gauss law and the proof for Gauss law. So we'll just recall the statement of Gauss law. So the Gauss law is the net electric flux passing through any closed surface is equal to the charge enclosed by that surface. So equation is the flux is equal to closed surface integral of ds dot ds is equal to q. Today we will see about the first application, the finite line charge. So the finite line charge, the question may be asked is find the electric flux density or electric field intensity of a infinite line charge using Gauss law. Else discuss the Gauss law and its application. Else explain the Gauss law applied to the case of infinite line charge and derive the expression for G vector due to the infinite line charge. The question may be in any form, else the question may be explaining the consider a infinite line of plus q or rho l something. They will use in detail explanation of infinite line charge and ask you to find the value of G at particular point. Anyhow, you are going to use Gauss law. The question may be any form, but it is related to this question. So let's consider an infinite line charge of density rho L coulombs per centimeter lying along z-axis from minus infinity to plus infinity. So for this infinite line charge, we will assume a Gaussian surface. So consider a Gaussian surface as a right circular cylinder with z-axis as its center and radius r. The length of the cylinder is L. So if you see this diagram, the line, we have kept a infinite line charge along the z-axis. We are assuming the Gaussian surface, that is the blue color cylinder, covering your z-axis with a radius of r. So this is an elaborate diagram. Previous diagram, this is the diagram what you have to draw for your examination. So see x, y and z-axis. The cylinder is your Gaussian cylinder. The radius of the Gaussian cylinder is r. Along the line, the charge along z-axis, the charge is rho L. For this, we are considering a differential surface ds. So here is the differential surface ds in the Gaussian surface. So we are considering this is our ds. So this is the ds. In the Gaussian surface, we are taking the differential surface. So the radius will be r, and this is normal to the AR vector. So normal is AR vector. So small differential surface d is normal to the AR vector. As the line charges along the z-axis, there cannot be any component of d in z-axis. So here is our line along z-axis. So there will be no d along the z-axis. So d will be only along this direction. Okay. So d has only radial component now. So it has only the r component. It will not have x, y and z components. So we are going to apply Gauss law. So in Gauss law, Q is equal to closed surface integral of ds dot ds. So closed surface integral, we can write that as cylindrical surface here. Since our closed surface is cylindrical surface, we are imagining the Gaussian cylinder. So integration for the closed surface, if you see the cylinder, we have three sides for the cylinder: side, top and bottom. So T, bottom, top and side. So we have three sides. So integration of full cylinder is the integration of side surface, top surface and bottom surface. So we will split the integration and write for each and every surface separately. So first we are written for side, top and bottom. Side, top and bottom. Next, we will see about this side. D is only the radial component as we discussed with the help of the diagram. D is equal to dr dot ar. ds is also along the radial component, that is normal to the radial component. So ds differential surface along the ar vector will be r into d phi into dz. Now in our Gauss law we have d dot ds. So d dot ds will be multiplication of d and ds. So dr, r, d phi, dz, ar vector into ar vector. So what is ar vector into ar vector? Previously in 12th you have studied any unit vector into unit vector is equal to 1. So ar vector dot ar vector is equal to 1. So applying this here in this place you will get 1. So you will get d vector dot ds vector is equal to dr, r, d phi, dz. So for top and bottom surface, no component is along AZ and minus AZ. So top is AZ and bottom is minus AZ. Hence, integration over top and bottom surface will be 0. What is this? If you see to the get back to the side, here D is dr dot ar vector, ds is r into d phi into dz. In here, with respect to top and bottom, what will happen is your ds will be with respect to az vector. So at that time we will multiply, when you multiply d into ds, you will multiply ar into az. Since in D you have ar vector, here you will get az vector. When you take the dot product of these two, it will be 0. So for bottom and top surface, if you integrate it, you will have 0. So integration of d dot ds top side and integration of d dot ds is equal to 0 for bottom side. Now this is the equation of Gauss law expanded. So in here, top and bottom is 0, we will have only the side. After this, apply the d dot ds, dr into r into d phi into ds into side. Now, we can integrate it. While integrating, dr is a constant. Is it? First, we will write the limit before integration. So, here we have two terms, d phi and dz. So, d phi for full cylinder, the limit will be 0 to 2 phi. So, phi for a full cylinder is 0 to 2 phi. And we have taken the Gaussian cylinder of length 0 to L. So, Z is along the length of the Gaussian cylinder. So, limit will be from 0 to Z. So, we are applying the limit with respect to Gaussian surface. Okay. So, 0 to 2 pi and 0 to L. So, when you integrate this, dr is constant. We don't have differential r here. So, again, r will be coming out. So, r into dr. When you integrate d phi, integration of d phi will be 5. Apply the limit 0 to 2 pi. Integration of dz will be z. Apply the limit 0 to 1. So, upper limit minus lower limit. So upper limit minus lower limit means you will get L into 2 pi. So your answer will be Q will be equal to 2 pi R dr into L. Rearrange the terms. Keep dr in the one side and all other terms to the other side. You will get dr is equal to Q divided by 2 pi R L. Now d is equal to dr into AR. So d vector will be equal to dr term into AR vector. In our consideration, we have taken the rho L, line charge density. So line charge density means charge divided by length, charge per unit length. From the unit itself we can determine that is coulombs per meter. So charge per length. So Q by L. So here we have Q by L. Replace this by rho L. So D vector will be equal to rho L 2 pi R into AR vector coulombs per meter square. So unit will be coulombs per meter square for electric flux density. So if you want to write this is electric flux density. If the question is electric field intensity in terms of to derive by Gauss law means what is the relationship between electric flux density and electric field intensity? D is equal to epsilon into E. So in that case you will get E vector is equal to D divided by epsilon naught in free space. So rho L divided by 2 pi epsilon naught R into R vector volt per meter. Unit of electric field intensity is volt per meter. So if you see this equation, already we have derived this in Coulomb's law for infinite line charge. And this is for D value we have derived from Gauss law. I think you have understood about the infinite line charge, how to apply the Gauss law for infinite line charge to find electric field intensity or electric flux density. Meet you with the next application of Gauss law.